What is going on, guys, and welcome to my GBA Week 5 match against George, aka Septile MC, and the San Francisco Arcaniners. So, looking at his team, during the team building on my part, I actually prepared for his Scizor quite a bit. I brought defensive Clefable with Flamethrower. I've got Darmanitan there. Tornadus has Heat Wave. I was really preparing for the Scizor, but he didn't even bring it, so that's kind of unfortunate. Looking at his team, though, the biggest threats seem to be the Crawdaunt, because that thing can have priority over Darmanitan, and it can hit really hard on everything except for Slowbro, obviously. So I got to keep that thing around. His freaking Nidoqueen also is pretty damn scary, along with Mega Lopunny. Could be a little bit of a threat. Anyways, let's just go ahead and hop into this one. So I'm expecting him to want to lead off with either his Miltank or the Nidoqueen. I'm going to lead off with my Tornadus T, just because I want to maybe get a little bit of U-turn and get some damage off on whatever. So I'll lead off with Tornadus. He ends up leading off with Miltank, so he sends his nipples out there, and I'm like, alright, so I just go for the knockoff. I want to get this thing's item out of here, as it turns out he had a Choppleberry, which I believe reduces the damage from super effective moves, so he no longer has that, although, unfortunately for me, he actually goes for the Thunder Wave on the first turn, now making Tornadus pretty much, kind of useless. So I expected the Stealth Rocks on the first turn, which is why I went for knockoff, and then I was expecting maybe to U-turn, but he ends up Thunder Waving me, which is really unfortunate. So Tornadus is able to U-turn out of there after he gets his Stealth Rocks up. Now I'm able to bring in Paul here. I figured this was a decent time to bring in Slowbro, just because of the fact that I know if he's running Thunder Wave, he probably doesn't have Toxic, and he definitely does not have a whole lot that can hurt Slowbro here. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. I'm just going to go ahead and, rather than starting to set up Calm Minds too early, I just go for a Scald, as he's going to switch into Felicia, which is the freaking, the Gothitelle, which is super annoying. This thing is so overpowered, man. So it has the ability Shadow Tag, meaning you cannot switch out whenever you're in against this thing. So ordinarily, I would want to get Paul the fuck out of here, because he's going to have, like, a Dark, like here, he has Dark Pulse, or he could have Energy Ball or whatever. He goes for the Dark Pulse. I have nothing to do other than go for the Calm Mind. I knew that I was going to take less than half from whatever move he wanted to throw at me, so if I got a Calm Mind up, on the next turn, I would be able to go for a Slack Off, get a whole bunch of my health back, and then, including leftovers health, I would be at a pretty good spot with +1 special defense. So he goes for the next Dark Pulse here, as he's able to outspeed me, obviously, and check this out, he gets the flinch. So that is really terrible due to my inability to be able to switch Slowbro out. I literally just have to stay in here and let this thing just kill Slowbro. So I literally, when I was playing, I was like, watch, he's going to get a Dark Pulse flinch. And he totally did, right as I was trying to use Slack Off to get a lot of my health back. And yeah, that's real unfortunate. So right early on, I lost my Slowbro, but there was really nothing I could do considering I couldn't switch out. So I was pretty much stuck there. And I was really beating myself up about losing Slowbro early, because I knew how useful it was going to be in this match. But yeah, so that kind of sucks. Now I'm able to bring in Darmanitan. I predict the switch, go for the U-turn, as he does bring in more nipples, so that's going to do a decent amount with a critical hit. At least I got a little bit of hacks there. I'm getting some crits, but like I got a crit on the Gothitelle with the Scald, but it really doesn't matter. But anyways, since I got a U-turn, I'm able to get a free switch into Hitmonlee here, which is decent against Miltank. Obviously, I know he is going to probably want to switch, but I'm just going to go ahead and fire off a close combat on whatever he wants to bring out here. He turns out to bring out the Nidoqueen, so I punch him right in the titties, and that's not going to do a whole lot of damage. It does less than half. Seeing that damage, I did not trust Hitmonlee's Earthquake to be able to take care of it, obviously. So I'm going to have to go ahead and switch out of here. I do want to save Hitmonlee for later, because I know I can take at least one Aqua Jet from the Crawdaunt. So yeah, now I'm going to bring in Porygon 2, which is kind of my answer to this Nidoqueen here. So I bring out Porygon, and I do have Ice Beam on this thing just specifically for the Nidoqueen. He is going to switch here. He goes back into, no, he actually goes into the Rotom here. This was kind of interesting. I go for the Ice Beam. It is going to do a decent amount of damage to the Rotom, and then he actually ends up just going ahead and Volt Switching right the fuck back out of there. So he's going to Volt Switch. He's going to do a little bit of damage, sees that I'm specially defensive. Now he's going to take this opportunity to bring back in the Gothitelle to just cause some more fucking destruction. So this thing comes out here. Ice Beam's not going to be able to do pretty much anything to this thing, and I cannot switch again because of the Shadow Tag, and this allows him to go for the Trick. He's going to trick me his Choice Scarf, and he takes my Eviolite, which is really terrible for me considering I clicked Toxic. So now at this point, I'm stuck in on a Pokemon that I already Toxiced, and I can't switch, and I'm scarfed into Toxic. So I literally have nothing to do. I have to stay in here and just keep clicking Toxic, as he is able to freely hit me with a Psyshock here, so it's going to do a lot of damage to me considering I'm especially defensive. So, yeah, so that knocks me down to 64. He's gonna get hurt by his poison and stuff, and I'm like, man, I fucking hate this Gothitelle. He ruined ruined 2 of my defensive Pokemon. So now I have to go for a Toxic again. He gets a free switch into the Nidoqueen, as I pretty much expected. I really wish I didn't lock myself into Toxic, now thinking about it. But yeah, at least now I am able to switch out. Not too big of a deal. I'm going to go into Tornadus here because I was thinking maybe Assault Vest Tornadus would be able to take a Sludge Wave from this thing, depending on if it has a whole lot of special attack investment. The Sludge Wave does end up doing enough to 2-hit KO Tornadus, so yeah, especially a fucking invested Nidoqueen just fucked me up. So down goes Tornadus. I knew he was pretty much lost from the get-go, as I saw that he got Thunder Wave, so that's unfortunate. At least now I am able to bring back out my Porygon 2. I'm Choice Scarfed, so I'm like, fuck yeah, speedy Porygon 2. We got a fast duck out here, boys. So the toxic spikes are gonna get one layer of poison, so that's kind of unfortunate. But I just go for the, just go for the Ice Beam here. As he's just gonna bring in his Crawdon, which is pretty unfortunate. There was literally no reason for me to go for the, I predicted the Crawdon to come out, but it was too risky for me to go for Thunderbolts on the Nidoqueen. He could have just killed me. So that was pretty unfortunate. If I got the Thunderbolt there, that would have been really clutch, but then he would have just been able to switch back into Nidoqueen, and yeah, since I'm Scarfed. But anyways, he kills me off with an Aqua Jet. Now I'm going to bring in Chewed Gum here, who is max physical defense and max HP, so I can take at least one Crab Hammer from this thing. I know that for a fact, and then I'd be able to knock it out with Moonblast, but he does still have the Nidoqueen around at above full health, so there's no reason for him to stay in. The only thing I can go for is the Moonblast. My only other attacking move is actually Flamethrower, so there was no reason for me to go for anything else. The Moonblast is obviously not going to do a damn thing to the Nidoqueen, and this puts me in a situation where I know that Clefable is probably my most useful Pokemon at this point, and I have to make a switch into something who wants to take a Sludge Wave. So I actually end up going into Kung Foot here. I realize, I got some special defense, although unfortunately the Sludge Wave is going to do a whole lot of damage, and I kind of forgot about the poison, the friggin' Toxic Spikes. So after the Sludge Wave and then after the poison damage, it's going to leave me at enough health to get one attack off. So Hitmonlee lives the poison at 2 HP. I'm able to just go for a knockoff here. I kind of expected maybe a switch into the Rotom. Unfortunately for me, the knockoff does absolutely not enough damage to kill the Nidoqueen. Lives at like 5 HP. So that's just terrible. Hitmonlee's gonna go down to that next attack, and at this point though, at least I can bring in Darmanitan to kind of just take some Stealth Rock damage, get poisoned, and then just fire off some Flare Blitz. At this point, I really considered this match lost. I haven't killed anything yet. I really just have not played well at all. That Gothitelle fucked up my walls. Just pretty unfortunate. So I'm able to go for the Flare Blitz here, as he's just gonna bring out the Gothitelle, and I enjoyed seeing this thing die. Let me tell you, I hate Gothitelle, man. Shadow Tag, for sure, one of the most overpowered abilities ever. I think it actually just got banned. Was Shadow Tag banned? I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, so Darmanitan's over here. I can really not do a damn thing, as he's able to bring out his Crawdons and scare me out with Aqua Jet. I have no reason to switch. I accepted this match is lost, so I just let him Aqua Jet Darmanitan here. My only chance is to bring in Clefable here and be able to take an attack from it. So I go into Clefable. I'm like, all right, ready to throw the fucking moon at you, bro. I hate these crabs, man. The fucking adaptability ass motherfuckers just do so much damage, dude. Crawdon is the shit though. But anyways, I go for the Moonblast, as he's gonna bring in his Miltank here. I go for the Calm Mind. Sorry, I predicted the switch, go for the Calm Mind. That doesn't really matter though. I mean, all that means is that I'm able to just one-hit KO this Miltank rather than just do 2 Moonblasts. But yeah, since my Clefable is actually the Unaware ability, due to the fact that I didn't want the Scizor setting up Swords Dances, he didn't even bring the freaking Scizor, but I had to bring Unaware Clefable for that. That just means that I'm going to be able to take poison damage. Ordinarily, I would be Magic Guard, so I wouldn't take damage like that, but that's unfortunate. So I'm able to go for a Moonblast that is going to kill off the Miltank. So at this point, he has 4 Pokemon left, and I have no chance because all he has left, or I mean, all he has to do is bring in the Crawdon and finish me off with a Crab Hammer. At this point, I don't have enough HP to be able to live one, so that is pretty unfortunate. I'll be the first to admit that I played like a fucking steaming pile of doo-doo this match. And I pretty much suck at this, and I'll admit that. I really thought I had a chance in this battle, but turns out I just got destroyed. So I apologize for everybody I've let down in these past 3 matches. I've just really been doing shitty. But I guess I'll just try harder next week. I don't know.